Alright, quite a long video today. We're going to look at 3 different runs. I might actually have to edit this down after the fact. I guess we'll have to see how long it turns out to be. But all 3 of these games have something in common, and that is that they are high rolls. Now I've kind of talked about this before, that most games that you see on YouTube will end up being a high roll of some description. Generally, if you're trying to put together a specific team, you need a sequence of hitting exactly the right pets. You know, there are some teams that you can force more easily than others. But usually I will just have to play a lot of games until I get the right RNG to get the pets I need in the correct order and with enough scaling to survive. But generally people don't think of those as being high rolls so much. I think generally someone would think about a high roll as being, you know, finding a lot of one copy of a particular pet. You know, maybe you have 2 dromedaries and then you roll into another 2 and your run just goes crazy from there. But for the first game here, we're going to look at an unusual Kappa high roll where we have double Stoat, and I sell them both on turn 9 and we get 2 Kappas. So I wasn't specifically going for this, but I decided at this point that from now on I'm just going to try and win using only these 5 units that came from Kappa. Now I obviously do have the transform foods in the pack. I take them in virtually every pack now. So we are going to be able to transform some of these if they're not cutting the mustard. But I think it's a decent enough selection. I think maybe Badger isn't the greatest, especially at level 1. But I don't think I end up changing it. I think I'm going to end up changing the skeleton dog at some point. But, you know, getting 5, 14, 16 units on turn 9, was it? It's pretty unlikely you're going to lose the next couple of turns. But since we don't actually have much in the way of scaling here, it is highly likely that we're going to fall off. So we need to try and win every single turn right now and not go too much further into the late game. Funny around here where the Mandrake dazes the Badger at the back gives us the win. And I'm going to take the Mushroom on the Skeleton Dog first. I think maybe Mushroom on Takushi would be okay as well. I suppose also the fact that we have a bunch of level 1s here isn't necessarily the best. You know, normally if you've got a bunch of tier 3s, you would be taking Quetzalcoatl to try and level them up very quickly. But I don't think in this, but obviously in this scenario, if we're just trying to keep the same 5 units, we don't have space for that. So yeah, it's kind of awkward as well using Takushi with Badger. You know, any kind of disruption and you can end up pulling the Badger to the front by accident. I think, is this back-to-back elephant teams? I think the last team was elephant guinea fowl. And they do get a lot of stats. 1 HP breakpoint there. I think we're still going to be okay though. Yeah, the Badger still has enough attack. That was a close call. So 9 wins with 3 hearts remaining. I guess the main issue here is that I think the only tier 6 equipment is Mushroom. As we face Behemoth with Melon, so we're not going to have much of a chance against that. Actually, maybe it would have been different there if the Takushi spawn hadn't gone behind the Badger. But I guess that's always going to happen. Does look like that I'm not going to transform the Skeleton Dog. Maybe I'm thinking about a different game. Certainly do buy a lot of transform food. And then Snipe Team, the Takushi actually gets knocked out by the Chili, and it's going to be a draw. So now we're really starting to push our luck. Turn 16 with these 5 tier 3s, and they're all, you know, fairly low level apart from the Toad. And since we don't really have any summons outside the Mushroom, it's not looking great. But then look at this team. Tiger Leopard plus an additional Leopard and a Behemoth. You'd think this would be an automatic loss, but just watch this last sequence. The Badger spawns and does 0 damage to the bee, and we actually lose by 1 HP. That is incredible. If anyone watched that, looked at those 2 teams and thought it was going to be a 1 HP loss, I would be absolutely shocked. And then unfortunately on turn 17 here, we run into Ronnie, who has all level 3s from the Swan Gold plus Sardinian Current and then triple Lionfish. So we never had a chance there. Doesn't matter how hard you high roll, someone else will have high rolled harder. Alright, on to the next run, and fittingly we actually begin with a Kappa pill on turn 8. Although I don't think that necessarily has anything to do with this particular game. I'm just actually going to check the file name and see. Okay, now I remember which game this is. Yeah, things are going to go a bit. The team is going to change quite drastically, I think, over a very short period here, as we unfortunately lose by 1 HP there. So that's down to 1 heart, but we are about to get the treasure chest break. So I am just crossing my fingers here that we can get onto the next turn and have a chance to see what's in the treasure chest. It's only a level 2 chest, so it's going to be a tier 4, not a tier 6. And yeah, this team had a level 3, what's it called? The fanfish. I guess that was a stoat cell, but it didn't activate. And then I get level 3 Gelada from the treasure chest. Now it is a little bit awkward here because I do want to buy the skunk, I think. And we still want to make sure that we get the activation from the Gelada, although it does cost nothing. Yeah, we can't use the chickpea. We need to buy the carrot and then hope that we roll another food, and luckily it's double carrot. So we get the level 3 Gelada, which is triple mammoth value, which is absolutely incredible. And then hopefully we can transform the sleeping Gelada into another skunk. I've recorded a lot of games recently in a couple of packs that are very, very similar. Or they may even be identical packs, I forget. But as you can see, the next turn we get the chickpea, and it gives us another level 3 Gelada, which we of course are going to activate. But yeah, like I was saying, I've played a lot of games in this pack that has the stat reduction units plus Chihuahua and Iguana. And yeah, it's produced quite a lot of amusing runs. Although this one isn't, the push synergy doesn't really matter too much in this particular game, as we get another chickpea and get another Gelada. So, yeah, triple Gelada activation in as many turns. And look at the difference between our stats to when we started. It's absolutely ludicrous. The Chihuahua was tiny a couple of turns ago, and now it's, stats in the 30s. So yeah, I'm not sure why I kept the Chihuahua frozen there. We go for the chickpea, and this time we actually get turtle. So probably didn't really need too much more scaling. Getting turtle is probably better than another triple mammoth buff, because very soon we're going to start struggling against big teams if we don't have some sort of tech advantage, and the melon definitely does give us that. So I transform Takushi as well and get another turtle. And then we rearrange this team. I'm not sure it actually made any difference there. They still got their snipes away, but because we got such incredible luck with the Gelada chickpea Highroll, we advance on to the next turn. And then I think here I'm going to take the mushroom on the level 3 turtle. I can't remember if I pill it or not. I think, because what I could do here is pill the turtle and then try and transform the level 3 turtle that we get after the fact. It wouldn't matter too much if it was a 1-1 level 3 skunk. We're okay to sacrifice a slot in our team in order to reduce an opposing unit to 1 HP. Now this is a fairly unusual team with the double peanut butter, but the melon proves to be a wise investment there, and it's a very comfortable win. Pretty rare that you see people, pilling walrus these days and getting peanut butter. So here's the chickpea. Am I going to transform the turtle? Yes, and I get level 3 crow, which means I can instant level 3 the skunk with 1 chocolate bar. And then which unit do I take here? It's probably just going to be real Valo. Okay, no. We take the high road with Black Rhino. Get matched with Notorious. The skunk plus Chihuahua combo instantly gets rid of the fringe head. I think that was the main impetus behind playing this pack, was I wanted to have the Chihuahua moves the unit, the skunk then reduces it to 1-1, and then the iguana snipes it. So I actually have a bunch of runs recorded going for this strategy, but with a much smaller non-scaled team compared to this game. But I felt like this high roll was just too sweet to ignore. Am I going to take another iguana here? I suppose we can. Okay, I'm going to play it at the front because the iguana ability will go off at start of battle, even if it gets sniped. And then we pull this shark to the front, almost 50-50 shark, and it gets insta-killed. And then the fact that this other team only had a single melon is going to allow us to claim the victory. So, incredible Gelada high roll. What can we top that with? Okay, final run in this mini sequence. And this is actually kind of like a double high roll game, because I'm going to skip to turn 8, and we've high rolled a dromedary at this point in the game, from the early game. And so we have this unusual setup with double frozen bonobo that are both 12-12. And here I was really just trying to decide, if I wanted to try and, get a unit to copy from tier 5 or tier 6. So I think we would be very likely to lose a heart on the next turn. So I decided just to go for tier 5. And it doesn't really give me any good options because the Stingray is going to overwrite the treasure chest. And then it gives me Flounder as the other one. So actually here you can see the contents of the pack. Now that I see it, it definitely is the same pack that I was just, playing repetitively, going for different combos. So I think now I'm just going to accept the fact that, the gamble hasn't really paid off. We're going to sell some stuff with the rice to get extra gold back. And then sell platypus as well. I suppose maybe I'm saving one of the rice here to activate the flounder. So we take the bonobo. I guess I can use the flounder to get a level up potentially and find a different unit to copy, which I think is what's going to happen here. Okay. Yeah, don't want to waste the chocolate, but then we get the bonobo here. So I think I'm going to combine this bonobo with the existing one and take the level up and see if there's something better to copy. And it gives me the exact same choice again, except flipped horizontally. So it's either Stingray or Flounder again. And we're running out of gold. So, I guess I could buy the rice onto the Patagonian Mara and then sell it, but then we would be copying a tier 4 max. So instead, I decide to clone myself some more Flounders. So because we have 3 hearts intact, we can throw a couple of turns and potentially get something spectacular going. But actually, we're going to win the next turn, which is incredibly fortunate. And now we have 4 Flounders, including level 2. So here I'm actually going to activate the 1 Flounder to level up the other 2 Flounders. And we get offered a bunch of tier 6s. I'm not sure if I'm going to take any of these or not. I don't think I am. I don't remember if there was something specific I wanted or not. But it didn't show up there. So I think I'm going to get rid of the Mara now and bring in the Crocodile. And then I'm just freezing any stat food that I can use to activate the Flounders. Not going to have quite enough gold this turn. Probably should buy sell the Crow, but maybe I think I don't need to. Okay, are we actually going to sell a Flounder? That would be kind of strange to get to this position and then sell one of them. But I guess I wanted to maybe sell it in order to activate one of the level 2s right now. But since we're on, 3 hearts, I think we should just greed and and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Pretty slim chance of winning the next turn, I think, and really no need to go for another level 2 flounder. So I should probably just freeze the food. Maybe I'm greeding for more rice to make these level ups even cheaper. But it really wouldn't make any sense at all to actually sell these flounders once they're activated, because we can transform them. They still count as tier 5s, actually really painful 1 HP loss there. And we also get Sphinx from the Griffin toy. So now I will combine the flounders together and we get the magic lamp. So now when I level up, I'll get an extra +3/+3 onto each unit. So now I'm just looking for something else that would be good enough to activate. We're definitely going to level up the crocodile. Okay, maybe I'm just going to activate the other flounder and make it level 3. Pretty rare to be level 3ing a flounder in Arena. Although I guess, to be honest, not many people playing customs and versus. So on this turn, on this set of choices, I think Farmer Dog, what we can do is we can use Farmer Dog to activate the other, the level 3. And therefore instant level some other stuff. A bunch of elephant teams in this set of recordings. Something in the water there. So I think I'm just going to combine the crocodiles together, or maybe not. I don't remember exactly what happens here. I suppose I could do the same thing again and have the flounder level up the adult flounder. Because all the experience carries over when you transform stuff anyway. Okay, we activate, we buy 1 piece of food, because with the Farmer Dog we're guaranteed to get the second one. Some of these shop phases are taking a very long time, so there's a good chance I'm going to edit this after the fact and cut it down a bit. I think because I'm in this rare situation, I'm now just terrified that I'm going to make some sort of mistake and waste this extreme high roll. But I think we're doing okay. We're going to get the crocodile to level 3 and also the Farmer Dog at the same time. Yeah, no. Do I want level 3 Farmer Dog? Or I really should just put the level 3 EXP onto one of the other flounders, because then they can be transformed into something from tier 5. So there we go. And we get the +3/3 on both of them. Absolutely insane sequence. And yeah, look, it's another elephant team. So I honestly don't know what was going on in this particular day of recording, but the elephants were out in force. Now, we're definitely in danger of losing here because we just don't have any good equipment, so I'm going to take the turtle pill just to try and shore things up. And then we get this double blobfish, which I just pass up. I mean, I've got so much experience, I just don't really need it. And then we get the transformation into level 3 Jackal with the platypus in shop. So how perfect does it get? And here's Disregard, but looks like our team's too strong. Yeah, fairly close. And now we can activate the Jackal. It becomes a 39/39 for 2 gold, and then we can transform it as well. And we get back to Kappa, so I think you can definitely tell this was all done in the same pack because we're getting a lot of the same units. And I think because of that, I'm going to transform the Kappa as well. I think actually having level 3 Kappa being a large unit doesn't make a lot of sense, so I'm happily going to transform it. Now, I was losing a lot of games to this Ronnie team. In this one, we actually sniped the Viper at the back of the team, which had been causing a lot of problems with Anubis, but I think we're going to lose anyway. Yeah. You know, risking it with a 4 squad finally causes a problem. Now we get the sea cucumber from the transformation. I mentioned that in a video the other day as well, that a lot of these recordings have got sea cucumber in them. And I think we're going to transform the Kappa and we get another Amargasaurus. Now that looks like a good hit, but the problem is the crocodile doesn't have that much HP. So we could end up just losing it outright and not getting any activations. See, the front Amargasaurus there didn't do a whole lot. But still on turn 14, this is quite a strong squad. But we do still need 2 more wins. And to that end, I'm going to pill another turtle. Rarely a bad decision, I think. And then we take the stingray toy. I think here I was a bit reluctant because I don't want the buffs from this the tasty going on to the stingray, but more important to stay alive. And we are going to do just that. And the buffs don't hit the stingray too, which is a bonus. Zebra buy sell, and then I think I'm just going to take the sea cucumber and then roll for some food to put onto the crocodile and hope that it gives it a better chance to survive. Okay, we don't get it. We get chocolate for the sea cucumber. And then this team, or a variation of this team, was in another video very recently. I think a bunch of these teams with trying to go for the lemming achievement were in the pool. So it's a tie. Lucky that they only had the 4 squad there. And we do finally feed the crocodile. It still doesn't have above 30 health, which is great for increasing the odds of getting multiple activations from Amargasaurus. But then luckily on turn 17, instead of facing a massive team of 50-50s, we face Wombat, who is seemingly obsessed with this Condor Tiger Parrot combo. And in the end, it's almost a complete walkover for the double Amargasaurus level 3. So I actually got the achievement on that run as well. Kind of surprised I didn't already have that one.